At this point, I call upon Sister Imelda Poole, who's the president of RENATE, to speak on the work of RENATE and of the Law Task Group and on the commissioning of this very important research. Over to you, Imelda. Imelda, you're muted.
We say we'll all die saying, I need to unmute. It happens so often in these Zoom meetings, so forgive me. So welcome and hello everyone to this session today. It is such an honor for me to welcome you all, and in particular, this Law Task Group that is one of 10 task groups that are implementing alongside the core group and the board of RENATE, the mission, the dynamic mission throughout Europe. Religious in Europe Networking Against Human Trafficking is now in collaboration with St. Mary's University, and in particular the Bakita Center, which is the unit against human trafficking. And we are honored to be in partnership with you, and Carol is there as the director of this center, and you will meet the other members who collaborated with us and led the research. The Law Task Group in RENATE is dynamic. There are about 10 members, and they have developed a very significant aim. And I'd like to read this out to you. It's to end all forms of human trafficking and exploitation through the development and implementation of legal protections and remedies, increased access to justice and legal aid, and a holistic, multidisciplinary support for survivors. The members of the Law Task Group are all engaged in their fieldwork day by day in the work of law or advocacy against human trafficking, whilst continuing the direct action with victims and survivors. They're close to the grassroots while absolutely speaking out with them, with the survivors, for justice and for good law. They complement the policy of RENATE, which states that RENATE endeavours to abolish all forms of human trafficking and exploitation that violates human dignity and rights of persons. Throughout its European network, RENATE adopts a victim-centred, human rights, trauma-informed approach in relation to the law, and of course, in relationship with all victims and survivors. So always in collaboration right across the world, obviously, because trafficking is a global problem, and all of us, wherever we live and work in this field, are working in wonderful collaboration with our colleagues across the world. And in this particular webinar, we focus on change of law and also in particular in legal aid assistance. So thank you for being present with us, for being again our collaborators, and we really look forward to this particular event, this webinar, and we thank St. Mary's for their lead.
Thank you very much, Sister Imelda. And now I'm going to call upon Mariana Mesci of the RENATE Law Task Group to tell us about how the research came about on this problem in 6 countries. So I'm going to hand over to Mariana to explain the background. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Good morning, everybody. I am pleased to present some background to this research on behalf of my wonderful colleagues from the RENATE Law Task Group. As Sister Imelda explained, in this task group, we are professionals with long expertise in anti-trafficking, and all of us work hard in our countries and beyond for the protection of victims of trafficking and for enhancing their rights. We as a group of professionals in this field are concerned, and of course are aware, but so much concerned, of the lack of proper victim support and protection according to the law in Europe. And in our grassroots work, we have experienced many obstacles in providing support and ensuring access to justice for victims of trafficking, and especially in ensuring the right to legal aid for them. We have concerns on the lack of accomplishment of this right for many victims of trafficking. And also we have been concerned to the quality of legal aid for those that receive this support, and for the qualification of the professionals that provides this support. Another issue concerning this group is the gap between those victims who can access the legal aid and those who cannot. And this is for many complex reasons. So we came to the need for this research, even due to the lack of data and clear picture of the legal aid services for victims of trafficking in Europe. And we think that providing a clear understanding of the current situation for legal support for victims of trafficking is required in order to take the proper actions for improving this support. We see that despite the political will and the measures that different European countries have undertaken, still the need for legal aid and the situation of legal aid is not properly understood. So RENATE Law Task Group therefore want to contribute to the knowledge about this important topic and provide a clear picture of the current situation for victims of trafficking in Europe. And as Sister Imelda explained, we collaborated, and we are very grateful for the collaboration with Bakita Center at Santa Mary University in UK to conduct the research that we are introducing today, called Legal Aid Support for Victims of Trafficking Across Europe, with special focus in 6 countries. We started this initial research with 6 European countries in which RENATE operates. And we, as a task group, choose to do the research, this initial research for Albania, Bulgaria, England and Wales, Germany, Romania, and Spain, as they represent both even the origin, even destination countries for victims of trafficking. And all these countries are signatories to the Councils of Europe Convention, which emphasize the obligation of state parties for providing legal aid for victims of trafficking. And also I would like to mention that in RENATE Law Task Group, we have representatives from all these 6 countries whom contributed significantly to the research. The research aimed to shed light on the provision of legal aid for victims of trafficking and to provide an overall picture of the availability and quality of legal assistance for victims of trafficking across these countries by identifying key obstacles and best practices. We hope that this research will serve to anti-trafficking stakeholders and will offer a good picture and practical recommendations that can be used to advocate for change in participating countries and in Europe. So on behalf of RENATE Law Task Group, I would like to thank Bakita Center for collaboration and to congratulate the researchers for the great work in presenting this clear analysis of legal provision in these countries. And thanks to everybody that is present today. We are looking forward to joining efforts on advocating for improving the legal rights for victims of trafficking in Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mariana.